this will be such a fast skip for me that I'm surprised it's still on this page. It looks pretty good. I don't know anything else about it, but she looks pretty badass.
You know what? I take back that, and I might not buy the whole wave, because if it doesn't come with a minicon, I'm not buying it.
He didn't turn into a tank. He didn't turn into a jet.
They're not for me. But you are a pop collector, because it's so weird. And I can make this a new character. This is Optimal Prima. So, again, I'm putting a big disclaimer so you guys can see it. None of this is proof. Welcome back, Transformers fans, and welcome to another episode of Bot vs. Con. As always, I am James the Con.
And I'm Bobby the Bot.
And we got another round of news for you. But before we get into that, we'd love to thank The Chosen Prime, our sponsor of the channel. Go for them for any of your action figure needs. They have almost everything you could think of under the sun. And we're still waiting on an announcement for that TFCon exclusive. So hurry up and post it already. We also want to thank our members. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much. And we got some new members, so we wanted to shout them out. So we got the Libra Review, which is a Titan class member. We cannot express to you how much that makes us, we appreciate it. It warms our hearts, and we really appreciate it. And then Paola Mortel also is a mini bot. So everything helps. We're very happy to have you along. Thank you for helping us along with this journey. And I think with that, we're good to start the news.
And if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. And members, be looking out for a message today that's going to be the link for the video tomorrow.
You'll probably get that before this video's out. So go look for that community post. Let's get into it. And the first thing is TFCon has some last minute attendees. Well, I guess they're not last minute, but we got Jerry Hauser, which is the voice of Sandstorm and the Sweeps and some Junkions. We've got Buzz Dixon, which is another writer, which I think he was on the panel that we saw. I remember Buzz and thinking Buzz Lightyear. So
I don't remember.
And then the one that's most interesting to me is Eric Thibinalar, I think I said that right, who was the lead toy designer on Transformers animated toys, which they might not be your favorites like you, Bobby, but the way they got that show accuracy down on those figures is amazing. It might not be your style, it might not be what you like, but they are so accurate to the show models, it's crazy.
Okay. Well, so
I would like to chat with him, but I'm not paying for a autograph. No offense to him. He's probably very talented. It's just not my thing.
Yeah, I'll be skipping that line. I don't know if the toy line was... I kind of wonder, since the G1, they kind of stole, let's say it, they kind of stole a lot of different figures from all over the place and threw them in, and that was the toy line, and then they actually had a cartoon that was kind of separate. I am curious to see what came first. Did they do the toys and then build the cartoon, or did they do the cartoon and then build the toys? So that would be an interesting question that you can ask him in that line.
I'm pretty sure it was the cartoon first with the styling.
Okay.
But that would be a very interesting conversation. Yeah. So, do you have your cards ready for, I was going to say Trax, but he's just the writer, for Sandstorm?
Maybe.
Well, stay tuned for that when we come at you live and ready from TFCon. So, now, let's get into probably the biggest portion of this episode. So, buckle yourselves down, and we've got some leaks for you. So, The first one is... guaranteed, I guess. It's real. The other ones we'll take with a grain of salt, but we'll get into that. So the first thing is they showed off Legacy Core United Beast Machines Cheetor. So Bobby, before we get into that, this is from Juan Diaz on Facebook, YouTube. He actually bought this already, even though it has not been announced in Colombia. I think this is the weirdest leak we've ever had.
I saw this.
Honestly.
I saw this, and I thought the same thing.
How does a figure get sold in packaging? It's not a midnight special or whatever. In South America. I don't understand this, but let's talk about the figure itself. What do you think about it?
This will be such a fast skip for me that I'm surprised it's still on this page.
It's going to be a skip for me too. I'm not trying to be mean to Hasbro. I'm trying to be better, but this looks like a Happy Meal toy.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what I mean? I had Happy Meal toys with this amount of posability back in the day. Now it was only one, and it was that Jaguar Panther one, but still, this looks like something out of a kid's meal. It's all one color plastic, but you know, it is what it is. So,
well, for me, I'm not a fan of the character, so that's. Even if it was probably had more articulation and things like that, I still would probably skip it because I'm just not a fan of the character or this version.
You know, it's funny you say that because I like the character, but I never liked the show model. I like the toys better. But you know, that was me personally. Well, we'll see.
Makes sense.
But I really want to see Beast Machine's Thrust, Tankor, and Jetstorm in masterpiece scale, and that's never going to happen. So let's move on. So again, I'm putting a big disclaimer so you guys can see it. None of this is proven. This is all leaks from people, I believe, on TFW that have been correct in the past, but these are all leaks. Do not get too excited until we have more proof.
I'm glad my wallet's not listening.
Yeah, your wallet would be probably dying. So let's start off. I don't have a slide for these, but there's Studio Series A Deluxe. I don't know what that means. So if anybody has any ideas, let us know. But there's going to be TF1, B127, and DEV Optimus Prime. TF1 B127 is Bumblebee from Transformers 1. I thought they meant TF1, like the first Transformers movie that came out.
That's what I thought.
And then DEV, DEV Optimus Prime, I have no clue.
Development? I don't know. I mean, I honestly have.
Oh, that's a good. Maybe it's concept art Optimus Prime. You're right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would make sense, but yeah, I have absolutely no idea where to go with these.
All right, well, let's get into the Studio Series Deluxes, except for one that we're going to talk about later. And we've got TF7 Double Punch, TF3 Hatchet, Movie 6 Bumblebee, 86 Perceptor Package Refresh, TF1 Starscream, TF3 Q, 86 Jazz Package Refresh. God, I can't speak. War for Cybertron Autobot Soldier, and lastly TF4 Widowmaker. Now, I think this is going to be a pretty easy question, but are you interested in any of those?
I'll probably skip the package refresh.
Yeah,
if
you already have them.
Because I already have them.
Yeah.
Honestly, this concept of Widowmaker, it looks pretty good. I don't know anything else about it, but she looks pretty badass.
Yes. So out of all of those, that's the only one I'm interested in. I mean, I already have Jazz and Perceptor, but Widowmaker, you know I like my Decepticon fembots.
Right.
Honestly, I already have a character in my collection that I call Widowmaker, but I have to change things around because this looks like a cool design and I'd love to see it. I don't know how they're going to make it unless it has a car hanging off of its back in a deluxe scale. And then I probably won't pick it up, but time will tell. And I'm assuming the Hatchet from TF3 is this figure right here that was supposed to come with Hound. That never did. Or we saw with Hound. We don't know if they're supposed to come together. So
going back to the Widowmaker, can we please stop doing the shell formers with the fembots. You know, the cars. Can we like actually make them transform, please? And instead of having the car on their back and their legs fold up over their heads, and you know, I mean, it's. I think
Bobby, you are asking too much to make fembots actual transformers.
It's bad. It's really bad, and so that's what I do hope for with this, because if it is a shell former, I probably will skip out on it as well,
unless they do something really cool with it. So, but I'm interested. It's got my interest peaked. So, well, why don't we just move along on, because this one wasn't so exciting, and we've got Legacy United Wave 5. Which is a little bit more exciting. Again, I don't know how real this is. So we've got Core Dino, Beast Wars Dinobot. We've got Deluxe G1 Sure Shot, Deluxe G2 Breakdown, Deluxe Armada Wheeljack, Deluxe Cosmos Package Refresh. That's a weird one. We'll get on that in a second. Voyager Ramjet Package Refresh, Voyager Tarn Package Refresh, Leader G1 Overcharge, and Leader Galaxy Shuttle. So the one that sticks out of all of those, there's two that stick out, but the one that sticks out the most is the Cosmos. Isn't that, what is the exclusivity? I really want to know the behind the scenes. Because if this is real, how is it not a Walmart exclusive anymore? I know you don't have the answer, but I would love to know. And then the G2 Breakdown also has my attention, as well as G1. Literally, this whole wave I would probably get between Sure Shot, Breakdown, Wheeljack, because I had this as a kid. I have the G2 one, and it looks good as well, so I'll probably pick it up. And Cosmos, I would have bought that for $25. Yeah.
Well, the Cosmos makes sense because no one could find the Cosmos.
I mean, it does make sense. I just want to know the legality behind it because I'm a nosy little man.
Well, I mean, maybe the time frame of it being exclusive has passed. So yeah, by the time it gets released, but I think it was smart for them to do the Cosmos because it was selling for stupid money on online, and I know I grabbed mine. What's that?
I said it was.
Oh yeah, and I mean literally, I found one in Walmart and picked it up. Very excited about it. It was a good figure, and I don't think I saw another one at all, because I would have grabbed one for you. And then I know they started showing up at Ross, which was really crazy.
Yeah,
and I never saw one at Ross either. Again, or I would have picked up one for you. So it makes sense for them to do a package refresh. Hopefully nobody is, has a bid on for probably $150 or something like that. They can go ahead and pull out now if they can wait a little longer. But I totally agree with you. The ones you mentioned, I can probably skip out on the Wheeljack. I have to see it, but the other ones I think I'm in for.
Well, and it makes sense for the Wheeljack because they already have the molding when they did the Shattered Glass one. So painted in another color. I wonder if it's going to come with that Minicon or not. I might not get it if it doesn't come with a Minicon. You know what? I take back that, and I might not buy the whole wave because if it doesn't come with a Minicon, I'm not buying it. Yeah, I refuse to buy any Armada characters without Minicons out of the principle. And Overcharge is a repaint of Blitzwing. I just looked it up. It's like gray and teal.
I'll have to see it.
Yeah, so. All right, well, let's get into Studio Series Voyagers. And I think you're really going to be excited about this first one, Bobby.
Uh-oh.
War for Cybertron Skywarp. I know you really want that. And then there's also Optimus Prime from TF7 Package Refresh, which is actually very interesting. War for Cybertron Ironhide, TF1 Sentinel Prime, and War for Cybertron Thundercracker. So it's cool that they're doing the Seekers for War for Cybertron. But I probably will skip out on all of those unless that Sentinel Prime is really cool.
I'm skipping out on all of those because they're just going to repaint the Starscream that we talked about. Yeah. I don't
That
even
it's the cockpit that ruins it.
Yeah.
And then we have leader class Studio Series figures, which again, I don't think they're going to make waves with either of us. We got TF7 Ape Link, TF4 Optimus Prime, TF3 Shockwave package refresh, and 86 Grimlock package refresh, which that Grimlock's going for crazy prices, so that makes sense. The only one there that has my interest is Ape Link, but I know it's but it's gonna be a repaint or remold of the leader class Primal, and that was just too small for a leader class, so I'll probably be skipping that.
Yeah, I have Grimlock already, so I'll be passing probably on most of this as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, next up, we have this guy. So I did leave off some of the Deluxes and Voyagers because we're going to be talking about them here. So we've got Deluxe 86 Scavenger, Voyager Scrapper, and Voyager Mixmaster. And we did do a poll on this. We got more than 200 votes. We really appreciate all the interactivity. We love it. So let's look at the poll. So 56% of you said, bring it on. You guys are in. You really like it. I'm assuming that's where you're at, Bobby.
I think I'm on wait and see, actually.
Oh, really? Because we're on the same level. 38% said wait and see if they get it right, and 6% said Devastator's out. For me, again, I don't want to be too mean to Hasbro, but I don't trust them to put out a quality product to just throw money at them.
So that makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Their track record of late has been deplorable. So
that's a strong word.
Yeah, it's been bad. For me, it's a couple of things. I'm in on the X Transbots. I'm in for the fans' toys whenever they decide to come out. So there's a lot of, there's an MMC Devastator, I believe, that I'm in on as well. So that is one aspect. Is this going to be the year and a half or however long of Devastators? Then there's how is it going to build? Is it, with it being all the figures being different sizes? I don't necessarily like that per se.
I don't think they're going to be different sizes. I think they're all going to be deluxe sized, and then the Voyagers are just going to be a little bit more complex.
Yeah, so even with that, I'm curious. It's going to have to be better than Combiner Wars, which I think I like the Combiner Wars Devastator. So it's going to have to be better than that. Then we're looking at the cost of it.
I mean, right there with those three figures, that's over $100. Is
right.
It 40, 25? Yeah. That's with including tax. I'm including tax into that.
Right.
With the current prices, these are all coming out in 2025. They could raise the prices on these things.
Right. And then, so we're looking at, and who knows what the scale is going to be on the other three. So, let's just say it's pretty much the same. So we're talking about $200 for this figure.
If not, there's one that's a leader class that comes with the chest plate and a head or something like that. Yeah, so and the gun. You know what I mean? Or even commander class. We don't know.
So that's kind of why I'm on wait and see. Is more so that I'm about to come into a lot of Devastators over the next couple of years. And is this going to be better than the Devastator I have from Hasbro now? Because, honestly, I got the Legacy Minosaur, and it was better than the Combiner Wars version by far, but it wasn't better than the Combiner Wars Devastator. So is it going to be something, similar to that? I'd be out. If it's something similar to the Combiner Wars Devastator, then I'd be in.
Yeah. For me, I think it's NBK's KO Gravity Toys Devastator, and a lot of people didn't like it because it had orange windows, but I actually like it because I like my funky colors, and it gives it and they're windows, so it gives it a little bit of contrast. I got that thing for like $120. I don't think this is gonna sway me to pick it up, but again, I'm the opposite of you. I'm saying no, I don't want it. But I'm saying wait and see, because maybe it's good. Maybe I'll see it and go, wow, that looks amazing. I need it. Time will tell. And they better show off Devastator first and not release these onesie twosies. Because I would be so out if they did that, because I'm not buying these $120 whatever worth of stuff and then hate the final product.
Well, it's funny. Mike D in the comments actually mentioned, he was surprised that they didn't put this out as a Titan, as a full set. And my thoughts on that is the Titans have been going on clearance, a couple of months after they're released. And I think for Hasbro, they're trying to keep everybody on the line. They put out 1, 2, whatever, you're going to keep going back and buying the next one when it gets released. So I have a feeling that that's why they did it this way instead of have it all come out at once.
I think it's going to exceed the cost of a Titan.
I think it's
going to be more than $200.
Yeah.
When all is said and done.
And this, by doing it this way, you allow people to afford it over the long term instead of coughing up all that at once.
Correct. Yes. Anything else you want to say about Devastator?
Come on, Hasbro. I know you have it in you. You can do it.
I know the designers can. They're very talented people. It's if the shareholders want to give them a little bit of money to actually do their job. So after we wrapped up, they showed all of the leaks we just talked about. And then they showed more. And they're doing a Studio Series 86 Megatron and Galvatron, supposedly. Again, allegedly. What are your thoughts on these two?
Please do not just be a repaint of the Galvatron we got a couple years ago.
It'll be a slight remold.
Please don't do that to me. I will pass on it. I
wouldn't blame you.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing was everywhere. After nobody could find it with the first one, and then they refreshed it. It was on the shelf for years.
Yes, and I have the toy version and the original one, and I'm good on that mold. The Megatron, I'm so curious about what they're going to do here. We know that, or we believed that we would never see Megatron as a gun again. How are you going to do this figure? He didn't turn into a tank. He didn't turn into a jet. If he turns into a gun, even if the gun is ugly, I'm 1,000% in. Because I think what they would do is focus on the bot mode so much that it looks really good to be on the shelf. But if it turns into a gun, take my money.
Yeah, I honestly have the same thing. If that Megatron turns into a space gun, I don't care. It could look like a Nerf gun. I will pick it up. No questions asked. I'm picking it up. That's really cool. If it turns into anything else, I am skipping, because I have enough Megatrons in my collection that I don't need it. But if it turns into a submarine that you turn upside down, totally cool. Call it what you want, Hasbro. I'll take it. The Galvatron, I skipped out on the other ones. I think this is honestly just going to be I hope I'm wrong. Let me start off with that. I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's just going to be a slight remold, maybe with a more tune-accurate face or something like that. But I don't see them making a new Galvatron. But the Megatron really has me interested. But I don't need it if it turns into a tank or a jet or anything. So time will tell.
This is just me throwing something crazy out there. Mm-hmm. Crazy idea. If they retooled the Galvatron, if they came out with this Megatron, what would be sick? And I would buy both of them. As if, again, just way out there thinking, if the body's split in half and you can combine the two halves for that transformation piece, I would buy it. I would buy both of them just to do that. You know, I don't even care what else they transformed into. If they did that, I'm in. That would be
that
so
would
sick.
be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. They might have me if they did that. I don't think they're going to, because
I don't either.
That sounds like an engineering and articulation nightmare. But if they did, that'd be pretty cool.
I mean, if they, because if they, whatever articulation, and they just had something where you unclip the back or something like that, and then two halves fell apart, clip them back.
I'm talking about like the waist.
Even with that, I don't care.
That's hard to do. I know Fanshobby did it, but, well, you know, time will tell. Maybe we'll see that, Bobby. I think there are things that Hasbro is enticing me with that they didn't do this year, really. Or for really the last few rounds with leaks. Yeah, so let's get into some more leaks.
Oh my god.
So after those we've had a few days that were quiet, and right before we recorded, tons of new leaks came out, you know. So this is the 2025 new mainline. They're calling it Generations Prime. Supposedly. That can all change. So we only have one slide for it. You already see what's going on. But let's talk about the deluxes. So the deluxes, we got Solus Prime, Air Raid, Fireflight, Animated Wasp, Alchemist Prime, Crasher Package Refresh, Swindle, Micronus, Venom, Skydive, and Slingshot.
Are the aerial bots going to look like the Minosaur?
I was just about to say, we're going to continue down here. Silverbolt's not on here. I bet you any money he's not on there because he's the commander.
Yeah.
And Swindle is also very interesting.
Which Swindle?
Is it animated Swindle?
Right.
Is it normal Swindle? Normal, that sounds so mean. G1 Swindle? I would prefer animated Swindle. I liked that design. I thought he was kooky and fun. But Swindle's my favorite Combaticon. I think yours too.
Yeah.
Right? So I will be picking that up. Is it just Detrius remolded? We don't know. But any of those make you interested?
The aerial bots have me interested. Again, I definitely want to see what it looks like. Swindle has me interested. I can't remember what else you said.
Venom?
Oh, Venom, yes. I will be picking up Venom.
So
yeah, that was the other one you said.
So for me, it's Venom.
Solus Prime.
No, I don't. Maybe I don't remember what. I think it's a she. I don't remember what she looks like. But definitely Venom, definitely Swindle, and Animated Wasp, which makes sense. It's the logical repaint to do a Bumblebee, you know. But I'll be picking, if Animated Wasp comes out, I'm definitely picking that up. I don't care how small it is.
Yeah, I'll be skipping on that.
Yeah, but those are the ones. I already have Crasher. If not, that would be an instant buy. But I already have it. So
yeah, I do too. Thank you.
So now let's get into the Voyagers. We've got Prima, Armada Red Alert, Voyager, Rescue Bots Heatwave, RID Skybite, Alpha Trion, and Flatline.
I'm curious about the Alpha Trion. And that's pretty much it for me. I know you're gushing over the Skybite.
It's an insta-buy, no matter how bad it looks. It's a shark that transforms. I cannot pass it up. I feel bad about it. I want to strangle my brain that's going to make me buy it, even if it's the worst thing in the world. But Skybite's my boy. Any shark transformer is my favorite. So Flatline also has me interested, because Flatline, I think in some, what's it called, is a hearse. I would totally be down for a hearse transformer.
That is you all day, every day.
That is so unique and cool. But I also see Flatline Because in the comics, he's more of a truck because he was based off of the Trailbreaker. I actually just looked him up. I don't know how. I looked him up a few days ago, and I guess they're making a figure of him. And Flatline.
Can you look up some winning lottery numbers?
No, that's somebody made a custom of it. That's what it was. Somebody made a custom on TFW, and I was like, "Who is this?" And I looked it up. And Flatline, I can also see being a repaint of Armada Red Alert. Which, again, Armada Red Alert, I might have to pick up as well, but it might not come with the mini-con, and I take that back. Because if it's no mini-con, no purchase, because I'm not supporting that.
Yeah. I'm the Alpha Trion. We didn't see package refresh, but I could see them doing that, and
I think this is going to be a new figure. This is going to be 2 or 3 years later. I think it'll be a new one.
I mean, we're seeing repaints of War for Cybertron and Siege figures, so
I'm very excited for that Skybite. And hopefully we get a Cybershark repaint and everything. But let's get into the leaders. So we've got leader G2 Grimlock. So I'm assuming that's the blue Grimlock.
Blue one.
That I think I said a few episodes ago we didn't get. Onyx Prime, which is like a beast former thing. And the Fallen. If this Fallen is the Dreamwave Comics Fallen, that's instant bought as well. I don't have one in my collection. I want a masterpiece scale one, but I'll take that.
Maybe the G2 Grimlock. That's all I got.
Do you know what the Fallen looks like?
That's the stealth bird. Not the stealth. The Jetfire that they call Jetfire, correct?
No.
From the movie?
No, yeah. This isn't Movieverse. I think this is going to be the Dreamwave Comics. He's like a big flaming tank.
Oh, yes, that we saw the Legends figure for.
Yes, you're correct.
Yes.
Which I wish it looked like that because that thing looks sick. But I've wanted a Fallen figure for forever since I read those comics. So they'll probably have me on that. But again, this is all just by the names. We could see the figure and it can be core classed at leader class prices. I don't know what Hasbro has up their sleeve, and I can say no. So I'm putting that little asterisk in here, except for Skybite, because I even bought that horrible Cyberverse Skybite with the drill on it, and I'll probably buy this one, even if it's 2 inches tall for $40. I'd still probably pick it up.
Hasbro's board meeting. We're gonna make our 2023 budget back by dropping core class figures at Titan class prices. They'll buy it.
Sold. So, all right. Well, that's all the leaks. It was a lot, but let us know your thoughts below. Now we're going to go back to our regular program now and talk about some things that are coming out probably a little bit faster than normal.
That's a lot of leaks.
We got all of 2025 leaked. So,
jeez.
I kind of feel bad for Hasbro. I know I'm not supposed to because they're the big evil corporation that steals all of our money, but I kind of feel bad for the designers that thought of all these figures and how cool it would be to have a new Skybite just for somebody on online to leak it all and take all of the wind out of their sails. So
yeah, but that's the internet nowadays. So
yep. So I just wonder who it is and why they aren't fired yet. That's my question. Let's get into what's just announced. First thing, it's kind of toy news, kind of not, but Hasbro applied for a Void Rivals toy trademark that includes toy robots convertible into other visual toy forms, as well as action figures, vehicles, board games, jigsaw puzzles, blah, 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 blah. So, we'll see what they make of this.
I'm very curious as well. I thought I was going to be able to start Void Rivals this week, and I have not. So I'm hoping I can start on it tomorrow and at least read one of the episodes. I'm going to the comic book store. Chris, I'm coming to see you. to pick up a couple of comics. I'm gonna pick up the Duke, I think, is out, and the Cobra Commander new episodes are out. So I think I'm gonna pick those up.
Sounds fun. If you guys have read these comics, please let us know if there's any figures in there that you would like made specifically from these comics.
Good question.
All right, moving on, we've got Premium Collectibles Studio Unicron statue. So this is a statue teaser. What do you think about this, Bobby?
When I first saw it, I was like, oh. And then you said statue, I was like, oh. I don't know. It's eye-catching. I don't like the wings at all.
Yeah. I think the wings are kind of cool because they look like, I don't know, they look like a constellation or something to me. I really don't like this Unicron. Maybe if I see it in color, it'll be a different story. But it looks like something out of like the MCU. Way over stylized, way, too many straps here and buckles here. That's what I see. And I wouldn't pick this up even if I was a statue collector. I'd go find a G1 Unicron statue because I like that version better.
Yeah, I do want to see this in color. I don't like the wings, but yeah,
I just like them because they're unique and different.
They're definitely unique.
I don't particularly like them.
It's menacing, and I like how he's grabbing the round
breaking
thing.
The chair.
Yeah.
I
almost said something else, and I was just like, no, I don't want to say that.
Well, you made me say it. Just say it. All right. Well, let's keep it going. And there's limited Funko Digital Pop Transformers, Wave 2. I don't know anything about Funko Pops, but the boxes look eye-catching. That Cheetor actually looks kind of cute. I hate the Freddy Funko Grimlock because I don't like those things. But the rest of them look fine. I have nothing bad to say about them. They're not for me. But you are a pop collector. You've got 2 or 3 of them. So
make sure.
How many of these you're gonna pick up?
I have 2. One was a gift. I will not be picking up any of these, though the Blitzwing, Magnus, and RC do look decent, but not enough for me to go pick them up.
Yeah. I'd rather put that money towards Magnus, Blitzwing, or RC that actually transforms.
Yeah.
So
weren't they going out of
next? We got this. What about this, Bobby? This is Snaein, Snaen Deformation Series Mecha Machiner via Shentu Toy Box and Weibo. These are the KOs I like. Because it's not a 1-to-1 thing. It is a kooky, wacky figure. If I saw this in Chinatown or wherever KOs are, honestly, I don't know where they sell them anymore. I would pick this up for like $15 because it's so weird. And I can make this a new character. This is Optimal Prima. Perfect.
I will let you pick it up and tell me how much you like it or hate it, and be happy that you love it or hate it. And anytime I got an urge to want this, I would ask you again to show me your figure that you love.
Well, again, I would have to see this in person or find it at a TF Con for super, super cheap. I would not be going online and searching this thing up.
Yeah, I'm okay with this. I don't. There's, yeah, no, not for me.
Okay. Well, let's get into some updates. And I thought, why not start it off with the bang? And that is MB-15B Black Naval Commander, the core robot. Do you want me to start or do you want to go?
Mine's going to be very short and sweet.
Okay, you go.
I think, I don't know if I'm going to get this or not. I already have 2 versions of this mold, which we've talked about before. It does look decent. That blue, and it could be shadow. It doesn't look teal enough. It looks like a light blue.
That's my problem. I'm glad you said it and I didn't have to. It's the blue looks like a baby blue. and it doesn't look teal. Now, that could be because it's a prototype or whatever,
Right.
and maybe they'll fix that. But that I was already 95% out on this. But if it's this blue, I'm completely out on it. To me, it's the wrong. It's not. It is Nemesis Prime, but it's the wrong blue for Nemesis Prime. It's not a teal. It should be more green.
Yeah, I and I know how much you love the inner robots. I haven't even transformed.
This isn't my favorite inner robot, though.
Right.
Well,
in general,
the original one is, but not from Fanshobby's recreation. It's not.
Oh,
They cut a few corners for the combined mode, which I understand. I get it. The legs are extra thick. He has a really long torso. I get it. But it still looks decent. If it was the colors I wanted, I would probably be picking this up. But unfortunately, I won't. At least as of right now.
yeah. As of right, I have not put a pre-order in. I had to make
Are you sure?
I think I'm
You're not on your 13th page, and this is the first one?
I'm actually down to 11 pages.
Oh, wow. That's not good, because that means they all shipped out.
It's going to be an interesting haul discussion.
All right. Well, let's keep it going with something that is probably in those 11 pages, and that's Iron Factory Spear of Marbus, Leozack. Again, it looks great.
It does. I'm in on this set, so I don't see any middle fingers with this one, but I am in on this set, so I'll be happy to complete it. These are coming out really fast too, so this might be here like next month or something like that. You know, the way they're coming out.
Exactly. So I think by the time we saw these pictures with the last ones, it was like a month and they were out.
Yeah.
So. And the jet mode looks pretty good for a Legends figure. You know, it does have a lot of junk under the trunk, but again, I'm able to let it go because of the size. And the combined mode looks pretty good too. I mean, I still don't like how half of it's like, obviously that head is not inside Leozack's chest. You know, but I still think it looks cool.
Yeah, I think the alt mode, and I don't remember. I haven't looked at my TFC version in a little while, but I don't like where the midsection is of the alt mode, how it curves in. And again, I'm being picky here. It just I would have liked it to kind of meet the jet boosters in the back, the gray to go all the way back. But that's just me nitpicking.
I think that would have looked better too. But I don't know. I'm looking at it right here, and I can't remember how it transforms. So
yeah, but I like the bulk of the combiner. It looks really bulky and solid. So again, looking forward to these coming out.
All right, well, let's do one combiner to another. What do you think of Dreamstar Toys combined mode?
It looks good. I know you in particular have talked about the color or lack of other colors.
Well, let me clear that up. I never had a problem with it in combined mode.
Oh.
I had a problem with the individual box because they all look the same. Mm-hmm. You can't tell me that you could tell apart the legs and the arms if they all stand straight up and down without like looking very closely. They all look the same. I do think it comes cohesively together in this mode. I'm surprised you like it so much because this looks like a movieverse thing to me.
It's along the lines. So it's the same thing with kind of the Kang Toys Predaking.
I think this is even a little bit, maybe because it's vehicles, but this looks, if you showed me this and said this was what Superion looked like in Rise of the Beasts 2, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, that looks like what it would look like. So it's a lot of looks and likes in a sentence, but you get what I'm saying.
It's the same. Like initially when the Kang Toys came out, I was just like, no, I'm out. These are too stylized. Don't like it. The thing that got me on this was the alt modes of the jets look so realistic. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, holy crap, those look really good. And then the bots, again, seeing them in black and white, the prototypes was like, oh, okay, they look good, they look decent. The combined mode looked good, but they were all renders. As they started coming out and I started getting a hold of them, I was just like, oh, okay, a little bit of issue right here, a little QC issue here, a little QC issue here,
QC issues.
Yeah. Broken part here, missing this here. The fourth one didn't have any problems. So it was the alt mode that sold me on them, and then that they combined. The individual bots were like, okay, that's a necessary evil to get from point A to point C.
Yeah. So I don't think it's horrible. It's just not for me. I would have preferred it in G1 colors because they're going to come out with that next.
Don't hurt my wallet. Don't listen.
cover your ears. Next, we've got some pre-order rewards for Dr. Wu's Perceptor and Hauler, and then the Magnificus and Grapple. So we already talked about the purple one, but I guess they're making an orange one as well in that set. So I think you would probably want to get the orange one if you wanted that Death of Optimus Prime look.
Correct. But I'm not going to get either one.
Oh, you're not getting it now?
No.
You changed your mind?
I did. I've seen 3D printed versions of this, and even though I don't have a 3D printer, I can probably ask somebody to make one or something like that, and it'd be cheaper than buying this set, which I really don't care for the characters that much.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would like Perceptor, but I don't want it that much. So unless you want to split it in half, and then you can get Hauler and the what's it called, the medical bay thing.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, let's keep it going with something that was very interesting, and we've got Vectron Labs Machinga, which is their long haul. If you guys haven't read all of the stuff concerning this company, it's a crazy novel right there. But I guess they're still pumping stuff out.
Well, they're still pumping. I don't know if they're pumping it out.
But yeah.
I was in on this set. I had a pre-order on their scavenge, whatever.
I don't remember which one.
The right leg is. What is his name? Scavenger. I believe that's it. But I was in on it, and then it was, as you said, their messages, which I initially appreciated their honesty, their openness, and their discussions about what was going on. Totally understand that. What made me get off of it and cancel my pre-order was the fact that it was always something. It kept on being something, and I didn't want to get in on this set and then something else happened and they never completed. So
yeah,
I will wait till all 6 figures come out. Unless the first one is just amazing, I will wait on all 6 to come out if they ever come out, and then I'll look to pick them up.
Well, what about with their price tag? Have you heard about that?
Did the price? I know that they were.
So they supposedly the owner of the company, or the head, wants them to be $300 a piece.
I'm glad I canceled my pre-order because
now that's all what I read online. So allegedly he wants it at $300 a piece. But yeah, no. You guys already know I don't really want to devastate her that much. I already talked about it earlier in this episode. So
well, and I could be getting my lines crossed, but I could have swore that they were trying to not charge a lot initially for the figures.
So from what I read a big long. It was about 40 bullet points, and it said that when it came out that they wanted to charge 300, they backtracked and said, no, it's going to be a lot less. And then I guess he did another interview recently, or it got leaked or something, where the guy said, no, I want them to be $300 a piece because I want them to be completely die-cast. So.
No. Yeah, I have to see them. I have to see some reviews. I have to see all 6 of them, especially at $300. I'm not doing it.
I mean, this looks like a Legends figure, but I know it's very rough 3D model. So I'm not, I don't think that they will not make a good figure. It just depends on if they make one. So
no, I'm not gonna.
All right, let's move on. I put this in here specifically. We've already seen some of these pictures, but I wanted to put it in because a lot of people commented that were interested in this. So I guess this is the new company, GI1 BSD01 Endless Equipment Poseidon is up for pre-order on some overseas retailers. So you could go ahead and find it there. It looks just like what we wanted it to, and it looks pretty good. Yeah, no complaints.
Yeah, I can't complain either. Again, it looks just like a scaled down version of the Titan. So good luck to those.
I think you should get it though, because you're a Legends collector now.
No, you are
full
too.
on.
You're a Legends collector.
Well, I'm not an active one. You're an active one. You literally said you were gonna get that Leozack, so don't come at me like that. How many Legends you got pre-ordered, Bobby? How many pages is it?
No, we're not.
I know it's probably like half a page.
It's how many? I have 4 pre-ordered,
and they're all the combiner.
They're all the combiner.
Okay. Anyways, it looks good though. I can see why people would want this.
Yeah. Again,
if it was just a little bit bigger to go with that Metroplex, I think it would have been a little bit easier of a sell.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into incoming, and I think you're going to be very happy with what's coming out.
Uh-oh.
But I think your wallet is going to burst into flames. So we've got MP44S Optimus Prime Toy Deco. This has been released in Japan, and it looks great. I have nothing bad to say about it. They did a great job on it. I'm not a big fan of the transformation. I don't have it because of the transformation, but yeah, I have nothing to say.
Yeah, another Prime, another day, another dollar, going toward another Prime. Yeah, you've pretty much hit it spot on. I mean, I think at this point, it's just to have another addition to the Prime shelf, and they can take their time with this coming out, honestly.
Well, so you said another day, another Prime, or another day, another dollar, another Prime. So I guess these next 2 are going to be for tomorrow and the next day, because the Missing Link convoy has been started to come out, and it looks like it's due out in February, but it'll probably be a little bit later than that. So,
oh gosh,
it still looks really good. They did a great job on this.
Oh,
Ab Crunch looks a little silly, but it still looks cool.
The Ab Crunch is terrible, but this is gonna be painful.
If all 3 of them come out at the same time.
I need to start a GoFundMe or something like that to my February has been absurd, so hopefully they can allow me to recover and not have all these come out at the same time or around the same time. Like 2 months apart would be great.
I don't think that's going to happen, but
I don't either.
We'll see. All right. Well, while Bobby puts the fire out on his wallet, let's get into what has been recently released. Let me look over it. You're good. You could tell your wallet it can have a break.
Oh, good.
First thing, we've got the Beast Wars again, Air Razor versus Inferno 2-pack from various Twitter users. Again, this is pretty much, let me take that back. We have been saying pretty much the same thing for all of these. They look good, they look better than the originals, but we have the originals, so there's no reason to re-get them.
Spot on. I actually saw the Inferno in store.
I did too. I saw Inferno and Armada Starscream in a Walmart.
Yeah, in a Walmart. Yep. And I was just like, I remember James was telling me to grab this figure and how wonderful it is, and then I ended up getting it from Amazon, I think.
And you never opened it.
I did. I'm looking at it right now. It is open. I transformed it and everything.
Yeah, no, it's a really good figure for Hasbro.
I didn't open the.
But I really like this box that these guys come in. I think this is a really cool versus type of packaging.
Yeah,
and it's a sleeve, so I think that's cool. But
yeah,
anything else you have to say about these?
Not at all.
All right, let's move it on to MPG06KN in hand images, and I guess they have an official transformation video.
That is a massive hand.
Yes, we'll have a comparison shot with him and the ones in the back. But the trains all look good together. So I'm going to be very positive and just talk about the trains because trains look good. Let me take it back. The bot mode actually does look pretty decent. It doesn't look horrible.
This one didn't look bad.
Yeah. But this is where it falls apart. This combined mode is a train wreck.
Pun definitely intended.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I can't take credit for that. I saw a comment that said that. But it's really, really rough. They needed a few more years to sort it out. And you could see that this figure is smaller than the other one. And the price matches. I think it's like $130. The other ones are like $150. But this combined mode, I don't know why. It just looks so off.
Honestly, what they needed to do was release this a year or two before Moon Studio dropped theirs. Because honestly, if I wouldn't have seen the Moon Studio version, I probably, especially at the time, I was buying more Hasbro figures. I probably would have bought this because there wasn't an alternative out there. But because it came out at the same time, it was just like comparing to, I mean, you could literally see what was happening.
Well, didn't this get announced after Moon Studios started to be get? I think Moon Studios started to get released, and then Hasbro or Takara showed this off.
So, I think you're probably right. I do remember. I don't remember if I got my first train bot from Moon Studio in hand yet, or not. But I know that I had pre-orders up for the Moon Studio, and I was thinking about pre-ordering, or I was going to pre-order this as well. And then they announced the price, and I think the first bot was going to be like $240 or $260 or something like that. And I was just like, "Oh, this is crazy!" And then they showed it. I was just like, "They are crazy." And then they ended up dropping the price down ridiculously, but not ridiculously. Like they scaled the price back to where it is still ridiculous, but that should be more in line. So yeah, I think if they would have released this 2 years prior, I would have probably bought this.
Yeah. I wouldn't have. Not with the way this thing looks. I'm sure the designers are very talented, and there's a reason why it looks like this. And maybe it's because they focused on the train modes more than anything else. Because I know there is a big model train community in Japan. And you get this. So, all right. Enough of that. Lastly, we've got Dr. Wu, Inferno, and Grapple, the gray model versions. Those are out. I don't know if this is a re-release or if this is the first time they came out. But again, they look good. There's no complaints there. I mean, they're gray models. I think you should get them so you could practice painting before our customizing class. But they look good.
No, mister. I need to know what we're painting so I know what colors of paint to bring.
Never said that. You cannot. You do not have a recording.
I'm sure there's a recording of last week of you saying that. But yeah, this is as you said, good for what it is. They actually look really, really good, and you can actually see the detail, the windshield wiper blades and everything. That's really cool. But yeah, not some of my favorite characters, so I will be skipping out on this as well because I am not the repaint guy.
Well, I think you would be skipping out on these even if they were masterpiece scaled.
Well, I mean, I have these in a masterpiece.
But would you get them in masterpiece if they're all gray?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
No, not a painter here.
Well, I mean, they would be kind of cool as like a prototype version, but then they're not really a prototype version. They're just, I don't know, but. Either which way, that is the show. Thank you guys for watching. As always, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Go ahead and hit that bell. There's too much stuff, so go do it all below. Comment. Let us know how wrong we were. Let us know what you think of these leaks. I really want to hear what you guys have to say because there's a lot of them. And if these are true, Hasbro has one foot in the right direction, but then we might see the figures and it might be 2 steps in the wrong direction. So let us know that below. Thank you again to our members. We look forward to talking to you tomorrow/today, depending on when you view this. And go check out the Chosen Prime. Anything else, Bobby?
Hasbro has probably 25% of my money allocated.
Wow, 25% of your whole
maybe that's not
salary.
No.
That's a lot of money.
No,
wow.
Not my salary.
How much?
I meant I'm probably 25% into like what they put out with those leaks.
Oh well, that's a completely. If you say 25% of my money, that means something completely different.
No. You're trying to get me put out the house.
I was like, what are you doing? You buying multiples of Skybite?
That's definitely not going to happen. But no, that is it. And we really appreciate it. And hey, thanks for joining us on this journey. We will be back very soon. And as always, till all debates are won.